Is that right? Okay. Oh, good. Okay. Ah. Hmm. We now command that this Zoom platform and all the Wi-Fi and internet connections be clean and cleared in the highest and best ways in all directions of time and all timelines where we exist with ease and grace now. Thank you. We now command that this space where we are and all the space in between us, whether live or on the replay, be filled with golden light to purify and harmonize all of our connections. It is now commanded that this healing session be invisible to all negativity of any kind, negative entities, and all unbeneficial energy or thought forms that would wish to interfere or hold us back. We now claim the divine right, permission, and freedom that we all be sovereign and whole in our bodies and minds and spirits and free of domination and suppression, interference, control energies in this gathering, live or on the recording. We now command that the universal shield be downloaded and activated in and around each person and all electronics being used for this session with ease and grace now. Thank you. The beings of light from our great and grand central suns are now going to join us because we're inviting them in and we welcome them. As always, we illuminate with this solar light force of the Elohim in all of our energy centers, igniting our trifold flames in our hearts, whether we see it as pure white light or rainbow light. We unite with our heavenly light codes that assist us from our higher self soul's expressions that vibrate at a finer frequency and guide us always if we choose to listen. We ignite the inner light of the mighty I Am presence, this mighty I Am presence. Our monads, our rainbow body, our divine blueprints, Mother, Father, God, the Holy Trinity, and the Christed solar force of energy that comes through the Elohim, all the rays of the sun, to emit a glow from within our energy centers to transcend obsolete patterns of separation, duality in ourselves. And as we model this to our loved ones and all humans and all sentient beings, we all benefit. We invoke the golden and violet rainbow dragons and our magical, mystical unicorn guides, and of course, our guardian angels, the Great White Brotherhood, the great archangels, the ascended masters, which include Buddha, the Melchizedek beings, Isis, the Marys, to support us in creating the new solar earth together. Welcome to the beings of pure light in the realms of the illuminated truths, assisting humanity at this time. For all of us to take our next steps in our healing and growth and evolution, and may there be help in us to be in ease and grace, that our own healings go right to the core of our DNA to activate our ancient wisdom and ignite the internal heart flames of each individual on the planet, etherizing our energies to rise up out of the confines of our lower scales of reality, our lower chakras. Thank you, Source. Seeing each of us now as a ball of light gathered in a circle, and our I Am presences on the outside of the circle through each one of us, and then the 0 point plasma field of oneness in the center of the circle. I command you, God, to place each person live or listening to the recording in a sphere of unconditional love from the ultimate dimension, each with our sacral points in the center and our divine blueprint of DNA activated to its highest potential. Okay, good. So now take a breath and we begin. So we want to set up sacred space because when we talk about um, ego or issues in the world, any shadow, we want to make sure that we're really strongly connected to the light so that we don't just go into drama and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so hello and welcome to all of you light workers. Um, Angels, earth angels, bringers of the new dawn. Welcome all you magical humans, whoever you are and wherever you came from. You are here now as a divine human being, celebrated and showered with love and support from the unseen realms right now. Showered for being the ones that have answered the calls, showered with love for being the ones that are showing up, being willing to heal and have their path of love illuminated by that which we cannot see. We're the ones asking the questions, the internal burning questions about purpose and passion and paths and how can I be all I came to be, and can I do that and be a way shower at the same time? Can I model this unfolding within me no matter what is happening in the world? The ones that illuminate their wisdom and mastery and purity, which is the true service to all humanity. Having one foot in the light at all times, even though we may feel like the other foot is completely in the dark. Okay, my name is Annie Nelson. I am a healing facilitator and clairvoyant. I'm your host, along with the starseed aspect of myself, Anastar. And she channels through me my angel ego, my evolved ego. There we go. And this is our second episode of the Illuminate series. So we're gathering in safe space to be with other people who are developing their psychic senses, their gifts, their inner presencing, and to receive a healing, not just for ourselves, but being in the group, which are very, very powerful, and enhance our own practices outside of here as we help others. So I invite you to move out of the to-do mode and just be willing to relax and receive and let it happen. Because our topic tonight is it's heated. It's the ego's development. And it's a challenge for us because it likes to hold on and grip us and not evolve. So this has been really heightened right now in this media toxicity that we've been exposed to for many months now, especially with the US election. And it brings to the forefront a healing of polar views, distorted opinions, enemy patterning, and the darkest of the dark, really, which if you ever plug into media, is public shaming, name calling on social outlets, and the core of it all, hatred. So let's balance before we dive deeper. Okay, so breathing in and out. Letting go of the previous part of the day to get online, our horror line, to connect to our mighty I am presence for what Spirit's going to offer us for healing. So we're going to do the rainbow, plugging into our foreheads. There we go. Good. Letting your body sway or rock or pull or bob, whatever it needs to do. And then you'll sigh or come into the center. And then switch so the other wrist is in front, balancing the left side, right side brain hemispheres. Why? So that we move from a place of linear logical thinking from day to day to our intuitive mind, our God mind. Okay, and then we hold our fingers together and point them towards our head and see a rainbow coming through our hand to the other hand, a rainbow coming through our head. There we go. Thanks, Libby, for naming that. Breathing in and out gently 3 times, bringing us into coherence with ourselves and with each other as we picture us all in a circle of light. And now we visualize counterclockwise pink spiral energy coming from below Mother Earth And her crystalline core, there we go, good. And then simultaneously, a golden spiral coming clockwise, the masculine down from the sun. Perfect. And then you'll know when to put your hands down. You might yawn. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So let's claim our bodies and our souls and our sovereignty from anything that would wish to hold us back or not have us receive what's being offered. So we say, I am, and you say your whole name. Your microphones should be all off. I am Ann Jeanette, Annie Nelson, Anna Starr, and only. And I accept this healing for my highest good. You guys can say that for yourselves. And then I'll add, I now command this, all the healing work that we invoke is coming from 100% full source, not from our ego's agenda, in the highest and best way possible with ease and grace. Thank you. Okay, and so it might be an obvious statement, but it bears repeating. So I'm going to say it again until we really get the ins and out of it, of how this condition really is affecting us. So, drum roll. We are in a period of great big change, growth, and evolution. So everything that is happening around us is a reflection of the need for this to change and grow within us. And our egos are scared and feel threatened about survival. And so we are creating, as a human species, conditions in our lives around us that represent this scenario that the ego is concocting, so that we may look at it and experience it fully and deeply into the core of our cells and our being, so that we really believe what's happening and get fully played by it. Why? So that we can evolve our ego and heal this deep fear of survival, this patterning of war, this belief that there is an enemy that could take everything away from us. And if I were to go directly to the answer, to the solution of this, which I just will, it would be to understand that there are universal forces greater than ourselves, helping us co-create scenarios for human beings to evolve. So just breathe. And the ego does not like losing control, and it has great fear of losing control. And many of us, many humans are feeling this on the planet right now. And it does really feel like it's happening because it is the ego's deepest fear. And that is what's up for healing right now. So this last full moon that we just had, its job was to light up the ego and activate opportunities for humans to evolve their perceptions and judgments. So we bring this to the surface tonight with conscious awareness and compassion. Humans and their egos tend to get angry when we don't accept life and life's events on life's terms. And when we think something needs to go a certain way, and we don't get it that way, the ego will feed off of the polarity that exists in the situations. And the election is certainly a perfect example to light this up for so many people. The egos love drama. And when we turn away from consciousness, conscious connection to source, which if we resided in it would be the refuge where we would be able to seek understanding and order and acceptance and trust in a higher reason for events, right? That would be the refuge to stay connected to this and look at what we were going through in relationship from inside. We because we're not on the inside, we're doing the swing with the pendulum from light to dark and good, bad, right, wrong, and we suffer and we spin, and the ego then would claim we're broken. We're broken, the system's broken, and then this reaction to things that really get us triggered well becomes a habit. This is a big example of it, of what's been going on in the political scene, but it also happens in other aspects of our lives where maybe we're a worrier and worrying just becomes the habit. It's the same situation that we're not trusting the process of life. We're not letting go, we're not surrendering because the ego would never have you do that because that means death. Surrender means death for the ego. And so we end up looping, patterning, and then develop unbeneficial behavior. And then that gets ingrained in our nervous system, and it has a limiting effect on our natural communication of our 12 systems in our body. The digestive system, the nervous system, etc. So there's a lot of symbolism with the 12 as I was pulling together information for this today. So especially the vagus nerve and its connection to our nervous system and all of our organs, which it comes from the head, through our throat, down our heart, to all of our organs, and it gets jacked up. And so here we are. If we can't consciously access the truth and the real meaning of events beyond the ego's interpretation of them, we suffer. So the mastery is to reach for source, God, anyway, and always, and invite it in. So we tend to pray for what we want, right? Pray for what we want. Not so much just pray for the highest outcome. And that includes us may not knowing what the highest outcome is. So faith, really having deep faith in a bigger picture, a higher order, is a luxury that very few have. And for those that have it imbued in them, there is a ceasing of struggling that the ego creates in order to control. And so people who have a high amount of faith can let go and let source flow, even when it is really scary and uncomfortable. So when we stay in an extended state of stress, worry, upset, anger, disagreement with something or someone, whether we either feel like losers or victims or tyrants, whatever, with no apparent control of reeling it in for a look at proper healings and emotions, because you usually just go with it because they're so intense. We actually create fissuring, which are these fragments in our aura. And then that keeps us unconscious while we grieve, while we disagree, while we are fighting, while we feel broken. And that's the ego's game. And it's a persistent one. And it pushes our buttons. I mean, not all the time. When things are going well, the ego doesn't seem to bother us. It's when we're in a growth period, when we've created something to experience that's not going our way. So as light workers, as light warriors, really, without saying war as a visualization of fighting. It's more like being so strong in your light that you stand up to the darkness and you don't bend. That's a light warrior. So as light warriors, light masters, light workers, how do we use our mad skill set that we came with to deconstruct this chaos, this madness, this suffering? Well, what's working for me in the last few years is to ask for help to see the truth behind the drama. Ask to feel the places in yourself, in the recesses of your darkness, that need to be connected to the light for healing, for illumination. So if we were enlightened, what would we say in an opportunity that's really got us lit up? We would say, I've only done this a couple times, but we would always say, thank you, God, for this opportunity for me to heal my shadow. Thank you for this situation to be illuminated within me in this world so that together we can transform darkness. That's the game of being here, to light up the darkness for transformation. So we could daily wordcraft prayers to address our situations, like, please help me forgive myself for all the hatred I have and feel, or the hatred or the judgment I have about something around me. Please, Source, flush out my toxic feelings and emotions that do not serve me anymore on my path to love. Let me be the presence of the alternative, meaning let me have one foot in the light while I'm experiencing something very painful. Let me be the one who gratefully does their shadow work every day on a regular basis, so that with every breath, every thought, I may be clearer and more wholly connected to you, full source. And full source is a nice balance of source being the male and the female, the unification of the masculine and the feminine, which is why I wore pink and blue today, because of this picture that they wanted me to share with you. And the picture's title says reunification of the twin flame energies. And what Source is really calling twin flame energies is your internal marriage of your male and female aspects. And so let your eyes just go where they want to with this picture. Your eyes will naturally go in some sort of geometric pattern as you really let yourself move into this geometry of male and female being completely married, unified, harmonized. There you go. Good. Just let your eyes continue to scan it involuntarily. It knows exactly what to look at, even if it's the outer circle of it. Good. Until you sigh. Until you sigh. There you go. Awesome. Whew. So I know there's been a desire for many to see a female president. And this is coming from the wounds in the feminine and wanting the feminine to save the day, right? And we will have a female president when the right one is ready and when our consciousness has healed inside of us that we actually created. One that really represents a balanced female energy with her male energy. Okay, good. And so another prayer could be, let me allow the light into the wounds of my feminine that does not feel seen and heard and honored, and that does not feel safe in her power to express. There we go. So a lot of us are clearing stuff out of the throat. That's great. Another prayer could be, Source, help me heal the wound of the masculine within myself that aligns still with warring and fighting and feels overburdened without proper recognition and true power. There we go. That's coming out of the back of the head. Okay, breathe. So as I heal myself, I heal the world around me, and then I directly influenced life's events by the energies I hold inside. I ask the divine to remind me to ask for help. So that's a good one. Sometimes we forget. So we're saying the prayer, remind me to ask for help when things are going polarized. Remind me to ask for assistance in remembering to connect to my magic I am presence, my higher self, my divine angels, for intervention when I'm feeling lost or confused or ungrounded, out of my body, unable to move through thoughts and feelings, emotions. It's good to have the emotions, yet if they do not pass and heal in a timely fashion, they will become thoughts that are judgmental. So it's a distraction of the ego to get you to over identify with life's events around us, over identify with the pain body, over identify with distorting news circling around us. And these impulses are creating opportunities for humans to evolve past the karmic loop of our ancestry. So it behooves us to get to a place where we are grateful and even celebrate that which is happening around us and asking for it to be illuminated and healed within us so that we can change what's happening outside of us. Because as we are feeling the distortions and the disharmony, if we allow it and embrace it, it allows this cellular memory, this chemistry that is being influenced by our DNA that is outdated and outmoded. It's messenger codes that are coming from the DNA that needs to evolve. So the more that you're lit up on something, the more it's a learning potential to lean into it and see what arises out of the recesses of your being to get the maximum growth and evolution. It is always an inside job. And I do trust the process that's happening right now. And I trust that it's happening for a really good reason. And I accept it and I'm good with it and I am grateful. And I did ask to see a picture um of the two candidates, the Democrat and Republican candidate, just to see what they look like, what a higher version of this might be. I just was curious, and God showed me this beautiful image of the two of them hugging. Like I had to stare at a while to see if it was fake, and it was their higher aspects of themselves hugging each other and really recognizing what a hard role it is sometimes to, step up in front of the world and run a race and bide for power and the honor of guiding a country. And that I just felt like everything was okay. Yeah. And that's probably why they wanted me to really tune into this picture. So, and the other example of really knowing it's an inside job is a personal example that I've with my dog Jack that I've been living with for 12 years. I tried to give him away 4 times, and I had 4 different trainers, and I literally was making phone calls to get rid of this dog because I could not handle the dog, and I thought there was something wrong with the dog. And so all 4 trainers, like I'm practically taking a second out in the house to get all these trainers to help me with advice about my dog. And they all said the same thing, which annoyed the flying shit out of me. It's your problem, Annie. You are why your dog is acting that way. And I was just like incensed. And each time they'd all say the same thing, and I was losing my marbles. And it hasn't been until like the last year that I realized what they all meant about he's acting in a way that is a reflection of how I'm feeling inside. So he was aggressive. He was biting people because I'm scared of being hurt by people. So he was going to bite them for me. um, literally, like literally. And so it's helped me understand that I need to address the dark places in me that fear shadow, that fear confrontation, that fear being hurt, that my dog would reflect this on the outside for me. So anyway, that's just a personal example. I'm sure you guys could all come up with your own personal example. So I want to just go a little deeper on these messenger codes that are in all humans' DNA, and they're codes of perfection. They are at the core of every electron, every cell, every atom. At our core is purity. And this purity is the complete nature of God, of Source. So breathe. And these codes started breaking down after the fall from grace, the fall out of fifth dimension, if you will, the fall from the Garden of Eden, because we lowered our vibration with impure, unholy thoughts and misuse of our mental capabilities. So part of we had 12 strands of DNA became dormant, which is, what they're calling junk DNA, right? We all know that's not junk DNA. It went to sleep because we had lower vibrations that were reducing our energy. And this all got triggered from forgetting who we really were and getting swept away with survival of the fittest, thoughts, feelings, emotions from this devastation, feeling like we're on our own here. And it began to impact our cellular vibrations, which then overactivated the back of our brain, which some call the reptilian brain. And so this exiting from the Garden of Eden, aka the mind of God, which literally is just simply not being in harmony and unity with 5D anymore, which would then prevent us from perceiving 5D. So if you're vibrating at 3D and it leads to an over-identification with the lower physical realm, the physical form, which then becomes more real than all of our other sensations. The physical form and the pain body becomes more real than our other sensations of what it was to be with God in 5D, because we've lowered our vibrations and that DNA has gone to sleep. So this is where the ego got birthed from, and the pain body. But the original intent for these messenger codes of perfection were to be the building blocks for the physical bodies so that God could be incarnated consciously in each of us through all of our subtle bodies, physical, mental, emotional, energetic, spiritual, dimensional, to create heaven on earth in physical form. But unfortunately, the bombardment of negative energy on these codes weakened the cellular structures, and there became a glitch in the matrix, which then allowed for aging, disease, decay, and death. becoming a probability then in our bodies, where before we would have naturally lived like 400 years or more. And so we've been trying to get back to these immortal bodies, the original divine blueprint, and the reactivation of the messenger codes of perfection in ourselves ever since. And unfortunately, many of us have just accepted physical decay as a normal experience of being in the physical form because it's taken us so long awakening, so that we feel like we're looping on the karmic wheel because we are. And that amount of suffering makes it feel like time is dragging on, right? Because when you get off the karmic wheel, then we become timeless. So we don't step off the karmic wheel until there's proper initiation and purification of the mind and the heart that shifts us into living into 5D consciousness again. And this conscious shift that we had in 2012 really ignited. It started to ignite these crystalline strands, these 12 strands of DNA, which has set us on a path of rapid evolution, way faster than we've been in the last 200 years. So now it's time to magnetize, meaning ground these electrical impulses in the magnetic body and earth into the physicality of us and see that our minds are trying to dream into reality a new earth with source, with all that is, which is why Spirit's given me a huge nudge in the last few days to start a class called Chakralicious. This month it's going to start. It'll be an ongoing class held once a month, probably every 4 to 5 weeks for a year, to awaken the 5 chakras above us. We have 7 along the spine, 5 are waking up above the head, which is again 12, to enable our physical forms to be once more in tune and resonate with 5 dimensions and spark that dormant DNA for our evolution. So these solar flares that we've been experiencing are activating these crystalline matrices in our bodies. That's why a lot of us are coming up with physical gunk coming to the surface. So again, an enlightened being would be like, thank you for this pain. Thank you for this disease. Thank you for this rash. Thank you for this whatever. May I see what is happening beyond this, as I trust it is happening for a reason, and I trust I'm creating it, and I trust it is a lubricant for me to let more light in. There we go. Because we're trying to evolve our physical forms so that this original DNA lights up our blueprint, which is going to sustain us so that as time moves on, we're able to exist in all the realms of the solar system, and our bodies can adapt to what's necessary as Earth changes so we don't go extinct. Oh, it's important. So, purity is at the heart of all creation. Let's just remember that. Purity is at the heart of each one of our cells and atoms, but we don't talk to it. We fill it with other stuff, and that's what makes it wobble funny. We are all holograms of all that is, and so is each cell. At the center of trillions of the cells in us is a toroidal field. The center being source, which is purity, aka the 0 point field, aka the black hole, aka the divine feminine within the divine masculine. It just keeps coring to the center. And so we must learn, it's our choice, but it behooves us to learn to use our physical transfiguration process as a call to consciously stay connected to source through everything that's happening around us. And this inner coherence is what lets us play this perfect note. We all came with a unique note to be in harmony with the whole. So after all, it is called a universe for a reason. We're all trying to get in tune with the one verse that the earth and the cosmos is singing at by harmonizing the specific tone note that we are here to play. And that's why the class will be Chakralicious, to find that note, right? Not by finding our purpose outside of ourselves in a job or a title, but the purpose being embracing who and what we really are, which is an extension of source. And so if we are to move through life with inner coherence, we would not need to suffer. We would just grow. We don't need to suffer to grow. We would just grow. So that would be what gets us off the karmic wheel of samsara. Knowing our purpose is just to be here, be the light, and co-create with spirit, and listen to the guidance that would keep us in the flow of life's pure impulse and not force our way through it unnaturally, meaning not getting out of step with nature and all the elements, including just the state of male and female. We both have that within us. So purity resides in every living, breathing energy, in our essence of every electron evolving on Earth. So I'm going to put up a picture of an electron as we move into the inner presencing portion, and just see, be open to what comes up for you in the inner presencing, whether it's one of the prayers that I read earlier, or one that just comes to you, like, help me see where I'm blocked. What is the feeling behind it? And can I embrace it wholly and purely with love and compassion as I would the disharmony that I see around me? Can I extend love to all sides that I see in opposition in the world around me? There we go. Good. Or you might have a particular body issue that wants to speak to you, or a guide that wants to come in. And I don't know what's going to come in. So we're all gonna do this together, just see what happens. But again, let's just celebrate that we got here, and the universe is here to serve us right now, to help us feel better and give meaning to any pain or suffering that we may be experiencing. And also give us, if we're experiencing like a lot of joy and gratitude, that we extend that to everything around us as well. As we really feel good inside, that we extend that out and create a space for others to do the opposite. So life is always going to be this, an expansion and a contraction. Right. And so some of us are feeling, oh, really good with the expansion, and some of us are feeling really bad with the contraction. So as we have compassion that there might be a plethora of feelings within this circle that are not all the same, that we as a group can hold space together for that gentle breathing in and out, that the universe is breathing us in and out, no matter how we're feeling, whether we're feeling great or sad or empowered or disempowered. There we go. Okay, good. So stuff's already percolating up. Let me turn on some music and see what happens. And so there the music should be nice and soft, and you should be able to hear my voice easily with it in the background. If someone wants to put that in the chat so I know. That would be great. Thank you. And let me put the picture of the electron out because I thought this was helpful. And this might help some of you just journey in and realize that no, not that one. In the center of the electron is the sun, the source. Let's see if that inspires anything. Okay, here we go. So we are grateful that we are here together in the presence of Source and our angels and our guides and master guides. And we're gonna let ourselves trust the process of life on life's terms, because we're in for more chaos. And so the more that we can be in the center of the sun, the core of our being, the less that we have to swing with the pendulum. Listen, the pendulum's gonna swing left and right, light and dark. So the question Spirit poses for us is, can you just let the pendulum swing? Just let it swing. It's meant to. But you don't have to swing on the end of it. There we go. Welcoming this time of inner presence. Letting the divine feminine flow. That the divine feminine is the water, the universe. Let it flow, let it be, let it move you, let it fill you. While the divine masculine is the fire that warms the water in you, so it goes to all the places and spaces it needs to, and you don't get frozen and dammed up. So let's see if we can be willing to think outside the box for new solutions, new inspiration. The word inspiration, you can see, has the words in spirit in it. Healing ourselves, our bodies, our creative expression, to revolutionize old patterns, to bring in the new transformative role that Ascension has us invited to play, integrating higher wisdom and divine light so we can illuminate feelings of shame or lack or isolation or darkness or fear, stagnation. Source is here always in every breath and every cell to help humanity awaken dormant aspects of consciousness. So let that light in to expand your field right now in case it feels a little constricted and heavy and not moving. Let the 0-point field and the plasma light in the center of every electron talk to you. Let it unlock your own potentials with new ways of thinking, new ways of being, with new, deeper levels of divine perception and awareness discernment, which will give us clarity, not only illuminating what would be beneficial for us to see in ourselves to heal and connect to the light, but how that would change how the world is unfolding around us. That's what it means to create a new earth. By creating a new structure in us. A new strength, a new awakening to dormant DNA, whose time it is to wake up now. So I just pulled the card for a nature being to come in and help us. It is the of all the cards, it is the sea serpent again. We are blessed with the sea serpent. She loves us immensely. I think she's shown up for three different gatherings that we've had. What wow, what a blessing. Let's see what she has to say again. Okay, so the sea serpent. Oh, she's so beautiful. Okay. For healing emotional wounds and expressing our desires. The sea serpent represents the energy of expression, whether it's emotions, creativity, sensuality, or desire. The sea serpent helps us move and direct our energy into a healthy current. When the essence of this card is in balance, we express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. We know what we desire most. Our hearts are at ease. And our relationships are meaningful and enduring. We loosen the grip of self-judgment, and we let the cool waters of forgiveness into our wounds for healing. When the energy of the sea serpent is not activated or out of balance, our emotions and creativity are left in the muddy waters. The current of expression stagnates in some areas of our lives, and in other areas, it floods. It's important to remember, no matter what the waters of our emotions and our lives look like, the sea serpent loves us just the same. Like a mother, she wraps herself around us in a gesture of protection. She supports us as we learn to express our true nature. which is perfect because our true nature is the purity of full source. And so again, the mother is at the center of it all, the divine feminine, patiently waiting for us to reunite with her. And so even though we may feel that our divine feminine is being squashed or not able to express herself, or she's just being patient because she's waiting for this divine marriage, this divine communication to strengthen within, so that together, full source, the male and the female in harmony, move forward and express together. I allow myself to be in a field of infinite mercy and understanding and complete forgiveness. I give myself the possibility of breathing, creating space, and I allow myself to receive help from seen and unseen realms. I give permission to all the forces of love and beauty and inner unity of my male and female marriage that are available right now inside of me, and as a reflection of that, beneficial to the whole planet. I'm willing to increase my capacity by unlocking my ability to love and live and serve at my deepest level, and to be surprised and delighted, allowing my body, mind, spirit, male and female aspects to feel relieved, peaceful, and joyful. I am allowing myself to come into my optimal state of flow and connection. I give myself permission to feel the help for me right now, and I give myself permission to receive it and benefit from it. I am allowing myself to feel held and supported and understood and blessed, seeing the sun shining and bursting and emanating every one of my cells. So as your body is your temple and your soul is embodying the body, making you an instrument, then who is playing the instrument? Are you trying to play it, or are you letting Source, the celestial realms, play it? Are you letting the environment play your note? The ego? Or are you letting the source of creation play you perfectly? And in your symphony, that you are one with the universe. Start to take a couple of nice, deep, fuller breaths as we're going to shift back to the circle without the music. And let's see if there's anything they would like us to do for integration. It looks like running some infinity loops to the left and right side of our brain hemispheres, and also from above our head through our throat to our heart and back. Many, many golden infinity loops would be awesome. Let me see. So we offer this work for the sake of all beings, for the highest good of all involved. And as we share this to the world around us, pulsing out to all beings, all nations, all animal and plant and crystal life, we ask for Source to please extend these blessings and healing to our earth, to the waters, to the soils, to our air for purification. Dear Mother, Father, God, creator of all that is, we pray that all of humanity steps into their true inheritance now. Our diamond bodies, our rainbow bodies, our light bodies, as they activate with the solar light force in our heart flames, balancing the power of love that resides in our heart, so that peace is returned once again and illuminating the way home. And then just rub your ears all around the outside of your ears, and then rub on each side of your ear, and then gently go down your neck until you sigh. So the vagus nerve feels like it gets to send these new messages down to the whole body. And so I'm going to turn off the camera so we can chat if we feel like it, or ask questions, or just say goodbye. But I am grateful for your time. I know that life is busy, and I honor all your presences and your commitment to being light on the planet and sharing that light with the rest of us that are trying to do the same thing and giving support to one another. It makes a huge difference. Spirit is very clear about that. So I am so honored to be part of it. And um, we will probably gather in another 4 or 5 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. And then in 2 weeks, the chakra class is going to start. And it'll be an ongoing class. You don't have to do all of them, but it I hear it is going to be life-changing. So I'm wanting that, and I would really love all your company. So spread the word and refer people to anybody that might be interested in that. I've made it really affordable. It's only $42 a month. So until we meet again, I am so grateful, and I love each and every one of you, and I see you for who you really are, and that warms my heart and gives me reason to get up in the morning. So until then, be well. Okay. So, are y'all there?